It's Coast to Coast with Mike, your host. It's the YouTube show that helps you cash in most. His track record's phenom, his cashing rate is the bomb, and it's all brought to you by RacingDudes.com. And now, the host of your show, Mike Somich.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Coast. I'm Mike Somich, and this is our very first episode. I originally grew up in upstate New York. I followed Saratoga, followed Belmont every single summer. Over the last 10 years I've been in California. I've been following Santa Anita and following Del Mar. So when I was talking to the racing dudes, they said, hey, why don't we do a show and focus on one race on each coast every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So that's exactly what we're going to do. I'm here today to break down one race at Belmont and one race at Santa Anita. We're going to have some of your favorite Racing Dudes personalities run through here as well. So you're going to see Slim every now and then popping in showing me how it's done on the east. You're going to have Magic coming in from the left coast and talking about Santa Anita and Del Mar. We'll even get some Halterman on here every now and then, although we didn't let him on today because he'd already talked about Penn National on the podcast Blinkers Off. So without further ado, let's kick this off and let's go coast to coast. East Coast. All right, guys, we're going to start out with the fourth at Belmont. It's a $40,000 state bred optional claiming race. We're going to go a mile on the turf, and I think this race is actually super competitive. You could make a pretty strong case for 5, 6, even 7 horses in this field, but in my pick 5, I'm only going to go too deep, and I think it's going to be a great separator race. So the first horse that I'm going to focus on is the 2-horse, Coverage. This guy oozes back class. He was running in grade 1s, grade 2s, and grade 3s over the past couple of years, and today he's really dropping down into 40 state bred, which is where he probably belongs. The buyer over the last 3 is super strong, so I think that fits perfectly here, even though the result isn't what you were hoping for. He gets Rudy Rodriguez, first time out as a trainer, and we get Castellano back. Castellano rode him 5 times in 2017, including winning at this level in May, so you know he knows the horse well and should get a good ride out of him here. All that being said, I'm actually going all the way to the outside, and I'm going to take the 12 on top. So, change will do you good. We just got caught last time out running a damn good race at a mile and 16th. Today, he's going to face no pace pressure and cut back to a mile. I think he's going to get a great trip, and he's going to get a great opportunity to wire this field at 4 or 5 to 1 and really separate you in those pick 5s. In the single race bets underneath, I'm going to go to Linda Rice. I love her on turf. I think both of her horses are improving, so I'm going to use With Exaltation and Inherit the Wind as well. West Coast. All right, guys, let's move on to Santa Anita now. We're going to look at the 7th race, $200,000 state bred stakes, the Snow Chief going a mile and an eighth on the turf for Calbreds. I picked this race because it's going to be my single in the late pick 5, and I'm not going to single take the 101, who I think is going to be the most common horse singled. I'm not going to do it for a couple reasons. So first off, I don't love the distance for him. We're going a mile and an eighth today, the furthest distance he'll have traveled in his career, and the 3 times previous that he's traveled a mile, he's quit. So since he's got pace pressure in here, I don't see how he's going to be able to hold on for the full mile and an eighth. Early on, Hurdle and Way of Edge should both be pushing him, and I really think it's going to set up well for the number 2 horse, Hard Boot, who I'm going to have as my single. Not only does the pace set up for him, but I really like the progression. If you look back, he ran as a 2-year-old 3 times on turf, and he ran well. His first race out in the 2018 campaign, his 3-year-old campaign, they sent him out at $200,000 state bred stakes. The goal there is to see if you have a Derby horse. That's why he's back on dirt. He didn't run very well. They run him back onto a turf race. It gets rained off the turf. He runs shitty in the mud. But then he gets back to the turf in his first turf start as a 3-year-old and pops a 77 Beyer career best and improves quite a bit and wins pretty easily in a $100,000 state bred stakes race on the turf. And he gets more distance here. I think this horse is set up very nicely to be successful. Also, if you look at the trainer, she's only got 3 horses that have run at Santa Anita so far this year and only 8 horses in California. Yet Drayden Van Dyke picks up the mount and Corey Nakatani has been on this horse. That means there's talent. These riders aren't just taking this mount because the horse is running in a race. They're taking it because they think he can win. And I really think it bodes well for him here, not only because of the pace, not only the distance, but he's back on the turf. I really think the 2 horses is a good, solid single and a good way to separate yourself here in the pick 5. You know, if you're against my 2, at least take a shot at take the 101. I just don't see how this horse is going to be able to hold on. And I might even consider going all if some of the speed scratches out, because if it gets short enough, I think it's a good race to buy. If the 2 doesn't fire, it could go any different way. Underneath, I'm going to play Psychodar. He ran behind the 2-horse Hard Boot last time out. I think he's probably the second best horse in the race on the turf here. After that, it's absolutely wide open. I think playing hurdle isn't a bad idea. Hit the Seam, who's run 2 turf sprints, now stretching out to a 1 1/8. He could be dangerous, but I'm not sure about the 1 1/8 with him either. And finally, I'll play Take the 101 in the 3rd and 4th spots in my triples and supers as well. But I'm really going to be focusing on the 2 Hard Boot here and hoping he can get home and really add some value for me in the pick 5. Thank you very much, guys, for watching the first episode of Coast to Coast. I'll be coming back tomorrow, and then I'll see you again next week for the Belmont. Really appreciate you guys viewing. Can't wait to have you again. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching Coast to Coast, brought to you by RacingDudes.com. I was your host, Mike Somich. You can follow me on Twitter at Samobomb18, and you can follow the Racing Dudes at Racing_Dudes. Head over to RacingDudes.com for all the latest news, articles, free picks, and premium selections. Don't forget to check out the podcast, Blinkers Off, available twice a week on iTunes, SoundCloud, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.